Joining us now, we've been devoting a lot of time the last couple of weeks on fatherhood with Dr. John Braccio, Director of Regional Psychological Services, Lansing, and Braccio, PhD on the web. Doc, good morning. Welcome to your morning wake-up.
Well, good morning to you, Mike. And this, again, is a topic we've been talking about, one near and dear to you also. And we've talked now on topics of the joys of being a father, why fathers abandon their children, what makes a good father. And today we're going to be talking about the importance of having a good father figure. And there's really little question how critical this really is when you really think about it. And the data is clear for various generations that daughters with good relationships with their fathers tend to seek and choose from responsible men like their fathers and tend to have more successful marriages. They really understand appropriate and inappropriate treatment and are more tolerant of the normal problems and concerns that occur in the best of marriages. And boys with involved fathers have an opportunity to spend time with them and learn how to be an effective male model and grow to be successful fathers and spouses themselves. Now, I know this is a topic near and dear to you, but it really is. It's really something important, and I think as a society, we really do want to be promoting this, and we want fathers to really just enjoy what you enjoy, I've enjoyed, just the joy of being a good father. And we may not see ourselves as a good father figure in terms of that we're not living every day with that goal, but that really is the purpose of taking the responsibility and loving and caring and just offering support to our children.
And it's not a cakewalk. And parenting in general is not a cakewalk, as we know. But you know what? And there are times you're going to, I wouldn't say hate your kids. You don't hate them. But there are times you are disappointed. They let you down. You let them down. There are ups and downs and rocky areas. But in the bigger picture, it's the overall. It's the big goal, right? It's the whole that you want to look at. Because I always say this lately. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm getting older. When I'm laying on my deathbed, I want my family around. I want to be able to look them each in the eye. You know, God willing, that'll happen. But no matter what happens as they get older and become adults and make their own decisions, sometimes the wrong decisions, you still love them through it. Sometimes it's a tough love, but you're always there as dad.
Well, that is really important, Mike. And see, it's the availability. It's being there. And being this model that can be seen and shining through. I mean, you're going to not always be perfect. And the goal is not to be a perfect parent, because there is no such thing as being perfect. And the key is to being there. We want children to feel safe. We want them to know that they're loved, they're cared for, and being that support, being there. And that's just a key thing. And I think in a society we're in where often we erode these relationships, it's critical that we start mentioning how important they really are. That really that you can give financial support, you can do a lot of things, but unless you're really involved with the child, you're not there. You just have to be there. And if in cases where there really isn't a good father figure, then there have to be others that roll in, and take over, do that things. It can be in churches, family members, sporting centers, wherever good modeling occurs. But hopefully we get just more and more to the joys of being a father. There can be few really greater joys in life than having the children that love you, respect you, look up to you, and you have these wonderful feelings for them, and you offer them all that you can. That's what you want. You want people to say, that's my dad, and you want them to be in the future talking about you and thinking about you. The good feelings I have for my father. He always said the same thing about his father, who I never knew. But he says, "Oh, John, if only you'd known him, what a great guy." So the memories can go on for generations, but we're living day to day, and these are the things. My kids are grown now, but again, I have a good relationship with Sarah and John. Certainly, I think I do. And the grandkids, and it's a part of you build these traditions, these histories, these things together in the good and the bad time. And like you say, kids can drive you crazy. That's true when they're growing up. That's life. But when there's that love and that caring, it's really a wonderful experience. Like nothing really quite like it. Building family and being dad. Being that person that's looked up to, loved and respected and cared for, and you're just mirroring back those same feelings.
And it's all not whipped cream, fluffy love, and sunshine and lollipops, as you know. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. What I'm getting at is as your kids, seems like particularly sons, when they get older and they start making their own decisions and they get up into their 20s, and they start looking at flying the nest, they may take an entirely different tact in life than you want them to. They may be making the wrong decisions. You can guide them, you can cajole them, you can love them, you can scream and holler and yell, you can get family counseling, but in the end of the day, sometimes, Dad, they're going to make decisions they have to live with. And all you can do is say, you know what? I've tried. I've prayed for you. I've helped you. I've given you my advice. I've tried to model good behavior, but you're making your decisions as an adult. I'm here when you fail. That's your last thing you can do, really, I think, as a dad. You say, you know what? If you get out there, you fall flat on your face, come back here. And you've got a place to come.
I think that's a good point. As we celebrate the successes and the joys that children have, if they have failures or things don't work, you're always there. That's part of being dad. I mean, you're going to be there and available. You're right. Kids make their own decisions. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. We try to give advice. We try not to overpower them, but it's part of being a dad. I mean, I remember my brother, even when he was 60, he would go in to see my dad and pull his shirt out just so my dad would say, put that shirt in, that type of, just kind of keep or say things that could kind of get people going. But the main thing is you're there, you're available. You're right. Your points are good. You can't always decide, and you don't want to make the decisions because you're trying to help them. You're giving them the off-ramp, if you will, when you let them go, if you will, when they move on. And it's their decisions. They're not always going to make good decisions, but we don't always make good decisions. The point is we want to try to make the best decision with the facts we have, and we try to give the best advice that we can. And that's really a lifelong kind of an endeavor. And, of course, when kids are adults, then they can come to Dad and give us advice, too. But it's an exciting ride in life. It's one of the most exciting, being a dad, being a parent. And it's something, you're right, it can be frustrating. Some days you might say you want to run off to some island in the Caribbean and throw your phone in the water and say, I'm done with this dad stuff. And hey, you got to stick in there. You got to enjoy the love and the caring. And golly, it's just an exciting experience. And if you're thinking of doing it, do it. And if you haven't been doing it, start doing it. So it's and if you're just doing it, just keep it. Keep doing it. It's an exciting role, and having good father figures are critical to an effective society, and all the way around. And when when men bring children into the world, it is really critical that they take up the responsibility, because these persons didn't ask to come. And fortunately, there are millions and millions of good dads, good fathers, and there are some that aren't. And if anyone's listening or they're reading, whatever it might be, hey, this is the time. Come back in. You're needed, and you're a good role model. And if there are other kids, we'll even go a little further that don't have someone. If you can be helpful and be a dad, a role model, father figure, take up that mantle, take that up too.
Be that guy.
Be exciting. Be that guy. Be that guy.
And there are a ton of resources now. There used to not be, but there's a lot of resources, say in the last 10, 15, even 20 years, that have come up from books. Okay, if you want to get an actual book, go to a website. Heck, I have a website, radiodad.com. Go there. I just plugged my website, Doc. But there's a lot of them. The National Fatherhood Initiative, All Pro Dad is another one. There's a ton of them out there. And go get it. Dr. John Braccio, PhD. There's another website for you on the web. And go talk to him face-to-face if you need to. Director of Regional Psychological Services in East Lansing. Doc, appreciate our Tuesday get-togethers more than you know. Appreciate it. Have a great week, would you?
Thank you. Bye-bye.
See you later. Bye. All right. 1320 WILS, your morning wake-up.